I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it is officially day one of my 9-month trip across Europe. So let's start at the beginning. I flew from JFK to Iceland, and then from Iceland to Copenhagen. The universe heard adventure and said, say less. So before I even touched down in Denmark, my airline lost my luggage. And it was gone for 36 hours. 36 hours without a single change of clothes or sock to my own. It's funny how quickly you realize what actually matters when you're traveling. And now my next adventure was getting from the airport to my hostel. I was looking up frantically as I was walking down the halls of the airport. How do I get around in Copenhagen? And I knew it was public transport, but I didn't know what I should take from the airport. Probably should have done that beforehand. And so I looked up and it was the train. I had to take a train from the airport to my hostel. But when I got to the kiosk, I didn't understand anything that was going on. I was really stressed. I didn't think to switch it to the English mode on the kiosk rather than the Danish mode, and so I was guessing on all these different things. And I randomly bought a ticket, and through some absolute miracle, it happened to be the right train, and I got on the right one. I hopped on the train, and within 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds of me hopping onto the train, the doors closed and it started going. I had no idea if I was on the right train. I had no idea where it was going at this point, but I just sat down and let the train take me. And after that, I got to Copenhagen Central Station, where I picked up a temporary hype man that I didn't ask for, which was a pickpocket. He followed me for 5 minutes straight. So what I decided to do was I went around the corner and decided to put my backpack on the front of my body just in case he was in fact a pickpocket. And as I was taking my bag from the back side of my body to the front, he turned around the corner to see me, looked at me straight in the eye, and pretended like he didn't know what he was doing, turned around, and walked right back into the station. All right, good start. I almost just got pickpocketed in the train station. That was a very nice start to my Copenhagen journey. But after that little excursion, I made it. I didn't even have my camera at this point. I just had my phone, and I had a little backpack on my back. And thus started my European journey. I just checked into the hostel. This shit is swanky. Look at this. I'm going on the bottom bunk. But like, shower, bathroom, $20 a night? Hello? Then I met a cool guy named Eli in my hostel, and he pitched the idea, do you want to go for a pub crawl? I've never been on a pub crawl before, and I didn't know anyone in Copenhagen, so I thought, why not? And so I got in contact with the people who were running the pub crawl, and I pitched the idea, hey, I could film your pub crawl if you let me go for free. And they agreed, so I didn't have to pay any money, and I had a great time. And suddenly day 2 became the first barter of the trip. And at this point, my luggage had finally gotten to the hostel. And on day 3, I finally took a walking tour of Copenhagen, and I walked it myself as well. So I spent the day walking around Copenhagen, and then I spent part of that day doing some work, editing, downloading all of the videos from my camera onto my computer. And as I was walking around, I saw reminders that there are still some conflicts in this world today, and of people living through a very different morning than mine. Because Denmark is so expensive, and because the definition of adventure to me means I have no money, I decided to get food through the app Too Good To Go, where you basically get all of the food from a restaurant during the night And it's basically all the stuff that they didn't sell for the day and that was going to go bad, but they're selling it for a very, very cheap price so that you can eat. Okay, so I'm walking back to my hostel, and I did the Too Good To Go app where you buy restaurants leftovers, and I got 2 restaurants to do it because I was like, oh, there's going to be like 1 meal each. It was $10 for 2 combined, and I'm walking home with like an armful of groceries. I don't know what to do. So I decided to give some away to the people at my hostel, and I decided to really make use of all the food and just eat at the hostel or take it away with me. And that was a really, really cool money-saving tip, and it really got me through the next 2 days, which was amazing. So that was my first week of my gap year in Copenhagen. And if Copenhagen taught me anything, it's that when you first start an adventure or a trip, you cannot plan for everything to go perfectly, because it does the exact opposite. You have to start your adventure when your bag is missing, when your budget is very, very thin, and when you're pretty scared. But you have to start anyway. So this is episode 1 of my adventure in Europe. And this is just the intro. If you're into traveling, and if you're into watching someone on a 9-month journey throughout Europe, you should stick around. I'll show you what it's like to build a life that you never want to escape from, one day at a time. And hey, if you're sitting behind the screen wondering if you should take that next trip, why not book the ticket? The world is waiting for you.